let's talk about it, because it's simple and I find it relaxing, and the world is very scary right now, so the more relaxing things that we can do, the better. Series number 1 is called Rain. Not rain as in weather, which it's doing right now actually, but rain as in to reign a country. Okay, I don't think that any of you will have heard of this series. I don't think any of you would like this series if you watched it, unless you really like princessy, knight in shining armor, period historical costume dramas. Historically incorrect, period historical costume dramas, to be more specific, overly specific. There is almost everything you could possibly want in that series. It's like watching Home and Away or EastEnders or one of these soap dramas that I actually hate, except it's set in, I don't know when it's set, but it's set in a time in history when Mary, Queen of Scots, went to France to marry her husband, and it is so funny. There is all different kinds of things in it that I can't go into because YouTube would not like it. In fact, my stuff never gets monetized anyway, so there is sex and violence and gore and humour, and it is so absorbing. I'm currently watching that again. What else is there to watch? Let's see. I like to always be watching The Walking Dead, so I will save where I was last in my favourites bookmark bar on my laptop. So, what else is there? Let's see, actually. Let's see. So, what else is there? I have been watching lots of Big Brother. God, all my makeup's come off because I just did a bubblegum blowing video, and so now you can see my little spots. Please try to ignore them if possible. Let's see. So yeah, I have actually watched a lot of Big Brother since the pandemic started, because Big Brother is basically just a lockdown under less serious circumstances. So it's been funny watching them go through the same deprivation of socialization that I have been going through. Also, I watch True Blood, but I haven't seen that in ages because I overdid it, and now I know it too well. But my biggest crush, I almost didn't want to admit this then. I don't know why. Like, I'm telling you too much. My biggest crush is in that series. He plays a vampire, and he's very, very tall and very blonde, and some of you may know him. His name is Alexander Skarsgård. I hope I said that right. He was also in Big Little Lies with Reese Witherspoon and Nicole Kidman and that whole Hollywood cast. He is perfect. Oh my god. Also, I like to watch Jersey Shore, which is another series that I really overdid. So, I keep it on my list, but I haven't watched it in a while actually. Big Little Lies is on my list, of course, because of a certain someone. House MD. If you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's amazing. Is it Hugh Laurie who's in that? Amazing. He is so talented. The Walking Dead, obviously, already talked about that. Nip Tuck, the series about two plastic surgeons who get into a whole bunch of shenanigans. Let's say, do not watch if you are under 18. Floribama Shaw. And I also love Party Down South, which I only discovered a few months ago, and I love it. I wish they would do more of that. That's so good. Right. Now we come to my favourite series of all time, Outlander. I think I've talked about this before, so I'm not going to chew your ear off about this one. Outlander is a TV series about a combat nurse at the end of World War II who ends up being mysteriously sent back in time to Scotland around the time when they had clans. I don't know what time it is, but she gets sent back in time and she has to navigate her way through all the harsh realities and dangers, and she meets a dreamboat called Jamie, and she has to marry him for her survival, but then it turns into love, and it's so twisted and dark and stomach churning and romantic, and just it has the whole bundle. I've recommended it to a lot of people and they have been absolutely blown away by it. I don't think that it gets enough coverage or enough people watch it. Let's see. One porn every minute, but I only like the US version because it's crazy. The Gilmore Girls, which I watched at a time in my life when I was really, really down and going through a lot of struggles. So I love it, but it has that relation, whatever, to this dark time. And every time I try and watch it, it makes me think of it, which is really sad because I love it so much. You, the Ultimate Stalker TV series. For some reason, it's just adorable and mega popular, and we love it, even though it's about a man stalking a woman and killing people. He's also extremely sexy guy. Whew. Hell yeah. Law and Order, but only the Special Victims Unit branch of that whole thing. It's my favourite. I have watched every single episode except for the newer ones because I think after season 18 I really just felt like the producing or the story writing had become so politically correct. It had taken any of the spontaneity and the grittiness out of it. It's all beige now. The Handmaid's Tale, another unbelievable series, and if you haven't watched that, I urge you to stop whatever you're doing right now, unless that's something like looking after a child, and go watch it. Even click off my video and go watch it. Go away, go and watch it, and then watch Outlander. got an element of humour, which I think adds a really nice dimension to it. I have here Eggs on the Beach, which I also only discovered recently whilst I was looking for some reality TV to binge. I like it. It's sheer insanity, and it's actually hard to watch more than a couple of episodes at a time because it's so in your face. Add to that the TV presenter person, the narrator. The narrator is really repetitive and it stops. I believe it was shown on MTV, so as with most MTV things, the adverts are every 5 seconds and it stops and starts and stops and starts, and it's like having, you know, an epileptic fit in front of a flashing ball. It's like, ugh. So it's really hard to watch more than a couple of episodes at a time. Let's see. Game of Thrones, of course. We don't need to go into that one. And then I have American Horror Story. Die Hard favourite, but I only like 1, 2, and then 3. But even 3 gets on my nerves sometimes because it's a bit, I don't know. I have to really be in the mood for season 3, but the first one is my all-time favourite. Is the second one Asylum? I think that's Asylum. I love that one too. Although it's really stomach churning and it does scare me, does that one. None of the American Horror Story series really scares me, but the Asylum one, it kind of freaks me out because it's got aliens in it and I don't like aliens. I mean, I love aliens, please don't get me. And then there is a couple of documentaries that I found really fascinating. One of them is Leaving Neverland, which is a massive documentary. I think it's like just over 3 hours long, or maybe it's 3 hours. So I like to watch documentaries that I find fascinating a lot so I can absorb all the information. As with Leaving Neverland, there's a lot of information in there and it really is presented to you to make your own mind up, and I have my own opinion, as I'm sure everyone else does. I think probably my all-time favourite documentary, which I have mentioned before on this channel, is Blackfish. Holy crap, if you have not watched Blackfish, where the hell have you been? It is mind-blowing. It is about SeaWorld and the orcas that they have in captivity there, and it is unfreaking believable. Please go watch it. It still absolutely terrifies me, especially the scene where one of the trainers, I think his name is John, he's mid-show and the whale is not listening to him, and it's been a bit of a bad show. And in one of his shows, he's in the water with a whale. I think it was a night show as well, which just adds like an ominous, eerie kind of feel to it. He's in the water with the whale, and the whale just, for some reason, takes hold of his foot and pulls him all the way down to the bottom of the pool. And I know that the pools are not big enough for orcas, but for a human, that pool is really freaking big. I think they specify that it is 2 clicks of atmospheric pressure, so John he's being ripped from the surface all the way down by this whale really fast, and then the whale's holding him at the bottom, and it's just lets him go, and he floats up a little bit, and the whale drags him down again and holds him at the bottom, and then this just goes on, and it is absolutely horrifying. And like the first couple of times I watched it, even when I would close my eyes and think about it, I felt like terrified. It had such an effect on me. So that's all of the saved searches and all my favourites that I have for TV series.